The following is a presentation of the Vol Network. Closed captioning provided by the University of Tennessee full-time MBA program. Learn, transform, lead. It all starts here. This is Tennessee football and the beginning of the Butch Jones era.
I want the whole city of Knoxville to know that it's football time in Tennessee.
For the next 60 minutes, you're tuned to the Vol Network, documenting the most storied program in college football. Welcome to the Butch Jones Show, hosted by Tennessee head football coach Butch Jones and the Vol Network's Bob Kessling. Brought to you by the one bank that backs the Big Orange like no other. First Tennessee, the official bank of the Vols. By your local Ford dealer. Go further on a Tennessee Saturday. Visit your local Ford dealer, proud sponsors of UT football. By Dish, proud to be an official sponsor of the Big Orange. Catch the Vols on Dish. And by Farm Bureau Insurance. With agents in more communities than any other insurer, Tennessee turns to Farm Bureau Insurance, the official insurance of the Vols. Now, the Butch Jones Show.
It's good, you just get goosebumps because, you know, it's like you envision all the fans being there, you envision the band, you envision your family sitting in the end zone, and it's, you know, it's just a great feeling. Anytime I'm in that stadium, I get the same feeling I get, you know, during the game.
Tennessee fans can hardly wait for Saturday night to kick off the season when the Volunteers open it up against Austin Peay. Please welcome the head coach of the Tennessee Volunteers, Butch Jones.
Hey guys, first of all, I just want to say, Butch, thank you for everything you've done to help the program.
I'm blessed and very fortunate to be your head football coach, and I promise you this, we're working exceptionally hard each and every day to make you proud. Not everyone can do this. Not everyone can do what we do. We live different. We're Tennessee. I want one perfect rep by every guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, Butch Jones leads the Volunteers running through the team.
All the hard work, all the preparations paid off on a big opening night win for Tennessee over Austin Peay. Coach Butch Jones, congratulations on win number one.
Well, it was a great night and a great start to the season. And, you know, we talk about building our own identity and our group reputation. And right now it's one step closer to really knowing where we're at as a football team and what we need to do to progressively get better as the season progresses as well.
Give us your thoughts on your first Vol walk, the atmosphere, running through the tee, and all of that went into an opening night at Neyland Stadium.
Well, everything went exceptionally fast, but our fans came out, and our fans really were a home field advantage for us. And I thought our players really fed off of that energy, and we need to continue to make Neyland Stadium a home field advantage. We had over 10,000 students there, which is great to see, and we're going to need them as we continue to move forward, especially in the next week.
But your football team came out and played extremely well, scoring on all their possessions in the first half. That had to please you very much.
Well, it did. We talk about a plan to win, and it starts with playing disciplined football. In 0 penalties, we took care of the football for the most part. We created ball disruptions on defense, and we owned the red zone. And that's what it takes to play winning football, among other things.
And you got to play a lot of folks last night, and that's always a positive.
There's no substitute for live game repetitions. And like I said, it's a great teaching tool now for us to go back. And we had some players perform exceptionally well and some players that need to go back and continue to get better. So that is a great evaluation tool for us. And, you know, the only thing is we had about some of our first string players, about 29 reps. So now their conditioning levels as we continue to move forward have to grow in practice.
Now you get ready for Western Kentucky. They were very impressive in their first game last night. So now you try and build and get better going into week 2. Are you a believer in your team does get a lot better between week 1 and week 2?
Absolutely. First of all, Bob, Western Kentucky has our attention. We've known that they're a very, very talented football team, but the progression of a football team really from game 1 to game 2, that's where your biggest strides are made, and our football team understands that. Even in the locker room after the game, we spoke about the next goal, the next building brick in our progression as a football team, and that's this week of practice.
Tennessee gets its first win of the season, beating Austin Peay 45-0. We'll show you highlights next here on the Butch Jones Show.
Our Adidas Ball Scholar of the Week is Justin Worley. The junior from Rock Hill, South Carolina, boasts a 3.13 GPA in Recreation and Sports Management. He was named to the SEC Academic Honor Roll for the 2012-2013 school year.
Wants to work in the sports world, has done a fantastic internship this past summer. He's on track for an early graduation, and he really sets an example for the younger guys that this part of life is extremely important for future success.
Justin is a Vol Scholar honoree and has proudly worn a patch signifying that honor since his sophomore season.
Justin is somebody who kind of, he leads by his action in the classroom, and he's someone that's extremely proud to wear the patch. I know his parents are proud, fans are proud, and when you see guys out there on the field making plays, you can see that they're a good student as well.
Congratulations to Justin Worley, our Adidas Ball Scholar of the Week.
Making a positive influence in our community is yet another means of sustainability. During the 2012-2013 academic year, the football Vols performed over 1,300 hours of community service, 92% of which were on a voluntary basis. These student athletes give true meaning to the name volunteer and a great effort toward a more sustainable tomorrow.
It was a historic night at Neyland Stadium. Not only was Coach Jones's first game, it was also the 800th victory in Tennessee history, and Tennessee joins a very elite class in college football.
Well, a very elite class, and that's a tribute to all the individuals, players, coaches that have come before us. And I talked about Team 117 leaving their legacy to be able to give this storied football program win number 800. And then they have Leonard Little and Al Wilson, Chuck Webb in our locker room. And first thing I did after the game is I text Peyton Manning and said, congratulations on win 800. So it's very, very special.
It was, and Tennessee played extremely well in that first half. Let's take you to highlights from Neyland Stadium, Tennessee and Austin Peay, and there's the Volunteers running through the tee for the first time, and the crowd was electric, wasn't it?
It was electric, and like I spoke about, our players really fed off their energy.
So Tennessee gets the ball for the first time, and Rajon Neal breaks loose for 47 yards.
Well, you can see Jason Kroon had the big block at the point of attack, and then Rajon used his speed to get the ball into the checkerboards.
And he's a guy that is determined to have a very good year running the football.
We're going to need a lot from him.
And again, you see Rajon Neal making the play, and he shows that burst of speed. Sometimes people forget how fast he is.
Well, we've really challenged him to have the ability to make individuals miss at the second level, and you saw the jump cut and him being able to do that.
Big defensive play here by Daniel Hood.
Really set the tone, and I think the great thing about last night was once we seized the momentum, we didn't let off the momentum. We never gave them an opportunity to get back into the football game.
Very athletic play by Daniel, and he's really worked hard to be a starting tackle.
We talk about ball disruptions and mirroring the offhand of the quarterback, and you can see where he gets the ball up and then show some athleticism of making the catch.
We've got to make sure the quarterback doesn't tackle him next time.
He's to finish the deal now.
Yeah. So Tennessee takes advantage of that, and Marlon Lane gets in the end zone.
Well, again, we talk about the plan to win and scoring touchdowns in the red zone. Again, Marlon does a great job. I thought our receivers blocked well all night.
And so Tennessee able to score in its first two possessions, and again, Marlon Lane able to take it right up the middle behind the offensive line.
Well, you can see the great upcut, and again, our offensive line did a great job of establishing the line of scrimmage all night.
So it's 3rd and 12 now for Austin Peay, and Tennessee's big play guy in the middle, A.J. Johnson, with a big play here.
Well, it was, and everything is about getting off the field on 3rd down. It's a 3rd and 12 situation, and we talk about swarming to the football, and this is what I thought we did exceptionally well all night, is getting 11 hats to the football.
And so Austin Peay's drive is stopped. They punt the ball, and Tennessee will get it back. And again, it was the speed of the Tennessee defense all night. Austin Peay never got to the corner, did they?
Well, again, we talk about pursuing the football and being relentless in everything that we do, and relentless to the football. And again, here comes the plan to win, the scoring touchdowns in the red zone.
Justin Worley fires for the end zone, and Devin Young makes the catch.
Great job, you know, and I thought Justin really managed the football game. He beats the free heat. He knows exactly where Devrin's supposed to be, and Devrin does a great job of being where he's supposed to be. And we talk about reception areas in our throw game. He did a great job of adjusting to the football.
Tennessee's defense again on the pursuit. Marlon Walls looking and going down the line of scrimmage.
Well, it's great to see Marlon get involved, and he's been injured, you know, all of training camp. So to get him back, and you know, he's a senior that means a lot to our football team. So to get him involved early was great to see.
And on that same possession, Tennessee makes another big play defensively, and another play by Daniel Hood.
I thought, you know, Dan really set the tone the entire game. But again, it's that relentless approach to get to the football and swarming to the football and controlling the line of scrimmage.
You know, Daniel has been a great story, a local kid that has just worked hard and has lost some weight this year, very mobile. He's playing really well in there.
He's done a great job all of training camp, and again, it's really great to see because we're going to need him as this season progresses.
We play in second quarter action now, and Justin Worley again, right on target to Pig Howard.
We had man coverage, we call it no deep, and you know, Alton did a great job of really sticking the defender, leaning, and then using his body language to really talk to Justin. That's what we talk about, is the nonverbal communication that it takes to excel in the throw game.
Tennessee trying to work in some young wide receivers, and one of those had a big night, Marquez North.
It was great to see. You know, Marquez, as we all know, has had a great training camp, and he makes a great adjustment to the ball. You know, this is one of the throws that Justin wishes he could have had back. You know, we got to do a better job of leading him and getting the ball for a touchdown.
And then Marlon Lane powers it into the end zone again. Tough running, and Tennessee goes up 35-0.
Well, again, it's the ability to break tackles, and right there you see the ability to break tackles.
So even though up 35-0, Coach Jones still coaching on the sideline. This is the third quarter, the second half kickoff. Austin Peay was penalized 15 yards, and Tennessee made him pay.
Well, we talked about in the locker room was starting fast, and you know, we take great pride in our kickoff return. So this was great to see, and Devin does a great job of really changing field position and keeping that momentum that we spoke about now to start the second half.
57 yards on this return, and Vincent Dallas out ahead blocking.
Yes, Vincent did a great job, and you can see the convoy, so to speak, and he did a great job of also securing the football, because the fumbles always occur by the guy you never see, and we talk about chinning the football.
So Tennessee doesn't get a touchdown on that drive, but Marco Pilardi comes on to boot home the field goal, 37 yards out. And Pilardi's had a good year.
He has, and we talk about consistency and performance, and this was great to see from Michael that he showed great consistency all night.
Tennessee bows its back defensively, and a big play by Malik Foreman here.
Well, one of our true freshmen playing last night, and you know, Malik had gotten beat earlier in the game. For him to bounce back, and you can see the athleticism that he has, and he's going to be a very good football player for us for a number of years.
So 2 interceptions on the night, one by Hood, one by Foreman, and the key thing, Tennessee was able to preserve the shutout with that big defensive play.
We take pride of that, and that's the thing I see with this football team, is everyone's becoming accountable to each other. And you know, our first team defense was coaching our second and third team defense up, and it's that pride. Getting shutouts are very special in college football. They don't happen very often, so when you get that opportunity, you have to take full advantage of that.
And you had the luxury last night of playing your second teamers the entire second half. That didn't happen very often.
It doesn't, and so now we know exactly where we're at, and we talked about at the start of the season, we have to build depth amongst our football team. So now having these individuals have game live repetitions, it's invaluable.
When we come back, we'll have a feature on one of Tennessee's top offensive linemen, one of the leaders on this team, Jawan James, next here on the Butch Jones Show.
One difference this year, Pig Howard didn't run out of bounds. He reversed his field and stayed in bounds. Hand off, tailback. Rajon Neal breaks a tackle down the near sideline to the 25, to the 20, to the 10, and he's into the checkerboards. Touchdown, Tennessee. 48-yard run by Rajon Neal for Tennessee's first touchdown of the season.
With 38 starts under his belt, senior offensive tackle Jawan James is the most experienced member of Team 117.
It definitely helps a lot. Actually being out there, in the fire helps with that. You learn from experiences, and I have plenty of opportunities, to learn from, and I just like to put it all together and learn from my mistakes and go out here and have a good senior year. And when you got a guy who's played that many games in Neyland Stadium, you just automatically have a respect for him. He's played more games in this stadium than anybody on our team. Going on 4 years, he hasn't missed one game. He started every single game. So I think guys look up to that. I know I do. Me, Zach, and James, us having so much experience, we can, translate that to the freshmen who are now going to play. We were in their shoes at one point. I just want to put confidence in them and let them go out there and play to the best of their ability.
With an ideal combination of physicality and smarts, number 70 anchors the right side of the Volunteer front.
The thing that makes Jawan is a great offensive lineman is that he's very athletic, he's very smart, he knows the game.
When he talks, it's pretty wise to listen to him. He knows the game inside and out, knows his opponent. He's a tremendous athlete. I feel like,
I'm a very intelligent football player. I take pride in that, preparing myself for each week, each opponent. And also, I've been blessed with the physical abilities to go out there and block, strength, speed, and agility, and footwork, and things like that.
Off the field, Jawan is known for a personality as big as his 6'6" frame.
Jawan is a goofball. He's hard to really put into words, man. He's one of those guys that he's just high on life all the time. Off the field, as an offensive line, we're pretty close. All of us live, within like a 2-minute radius of each other, our apartments next to each other. And we just all stick together, go to movies, play games. We just do everything together, and we try to enjoy these last few months together.
Following leaders like Jawan, Tennessee will strive to reach many goals in 2013.
My goal is, first of all, as a team goal, our goal is to go to a bowl game. I haven't been to a bowl game since my freshman year. I would love to do that. But personally, goal-wise, I'd like to become a stronger and better football player than I was last year. On and off the field, in the weight room, I got my strength up. And also, I just want to enjoy these last, like I said, few months. I'm around these guys. The last time I'm going to be on the same team as them. And I just want to go out here and win ball games.
For the Butch Jones Show, I'm Rick Russo.
So I guess dependability and durability are keys with Jawan James, aren't they?
No question. You look at all the words that the players use to describe him: intelligent, wise, tough, leader. That's Jawan James. And we're going to need him throughout the course of the season. But for me, it's very comforting to have an individual like that. He's always by my side. He's always talking to me. He's in my office. And I can't say enough for what he brings to our football team and to our coaching staff.
And there's no substitute for experience at this level, is there?
There is no substitute. Jawan has seen it all. He's experienced. He's been through the wars. He understands the mental preparation, the mental intensity that it takes, but also how you take care of your body throughout the course of a long football season.
Jawan James, one of the key members of the Tennessee offensive line. Let's get an update on social media with the Vol Network's Sarah Mitchell.
It was a great week in the world of social media, especially if you were a Tennessee fan. Vol Football's Twitter account was a definite hotspot. With the anticipation of football time in Tennessee, it was evident. Here's a look. We'll start with our youngest Vols. Josh Hawk has this little guy ready, complete with a pregame sippy cup and #1 jersey. Tennessee Jed had his son raring to go in support of Marquez North at his first Tennessee game. And this big brother is showing little sis the ways of the Vol Nation. Now you can always count on some Tennessee players for some great tweets during game week. Linebacker Brent Brewer offered this: "It will be difficult. It will take time. It will require sacrifice. It will be worth it." Now that's a very focused volunteer. And from our own Vol Football Twitter account, we're reminded General Robert R. Neyland went 19-2 on opening day. 15 of those games were shutouts. Now that is an amazing stat. Last week, I asked Tennessee fans to tweet me pictures in your favorite Tennessee jersey, and you guys didn't disappoint. Here's a jersey collection from our own Brian Rice. John Neal and daughter ready for kickoff? And here's Steve Hutchins celebrating the 800th win in Tennessee football history. And that's a wrap on this week's Vol Football Media Mash. Don't go away, the Butch Jones Show will be right back after these messages.
Welcome back to the Butch Jones Show. Of course, Coach Jones was at Cincinnati the last 3 years, and Denny Jansen was the sports director up in Cincinnati at Channel 9 WCPO. You forged a pretty good relationship with Denny.
Very good relationship, and Denny's one of those individuals who can really keep things real. And really, when there's an intense moment, he's very comforting. And so to have him on our sideline and have him here for game number 1 was very, very special. And as you know, Bob, across the country, his reputation speaks for itself. So to be able to have him here just made the day even that much more special.
So here's Denny Jansen's take on Coach Jones's first game at Tennessee.
This is my first UT home opener, and I have to tell you, it is probably the highlight of my sports career. Look at this. Look at this atmosphere. It doesn't get any better than this. All had one common goal the last day of August: to be on hand as Butch Jones assumed the controls of one of the legendary programs in college football history.
This is why you train, for 7, 8, 9 months to be able to play the games. So I'm excited to see how our team performs today.
Did you sleep well last night?
Slept great.
The countdown clock that started ticking off months and days, hours and seconds since he was hired December 7th of last year finally reached zeros with the expected results.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, Butch Jones leads the Volunteers running through the tee.
They have been doing this for 116 years here in Knoxville, Tennessee, playing college football. But I think it goes without saying that never has there been such eager anticipation as there for season number 117, the debut of Butch Jones as head coach, the start of new traditions, and the return to championship football.
Rajon Neal breaks a tackle down the near sideline to the 25, to the 20, to the 10, and he's into the checkerboards. Batted up in the air and intercepted at the 25-yard line. Daniel Hood. Back to throw again. He's got time. Now he fires another bullet. This one right on target. Touchdown, Tennessee. Back to throw. Intercepted. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Fans counted down to a ball victory, number 800 in school history. Final score, Tennessee 45, Austin Peay nothing.
Congratulations, number 800 in the long and storied tradition of volunteer football, but it's a start. It's 1 in a row for you.
Well, it is a start, and we have a lot of work to do, but this 800 victory is very, very special for our football program, and all the people that have come before us. They've laid the foundation to be able to give this program 800 and many more to come, but we do have a lot of work to do.
What would Lyle Jones Sr. say tonight?
Get in there, break the film down, and go back to work.
Indeed, Denny's covered World Series and Super Bowls and everything else, and he said it was nothing like a Tennessee opening game the last night.
It's Tennessee football. And again, the most storied college football program in the country, and we're very fortunate to be a part of it, and looking forward to continue to build this football team and the overall football program.
So our thanks to Denny Jansen for coming down from Cincinnati. When we come back, we'll ask the coach here on the Butch Jones Show.
Time out to check the stats. Brought to you by Dish. Touchdown, Chuck Webb.
In 1989, the Vols unleashed freshman phenom Chuck Webb against the Ole Miss Rebels, and the result was one for the record books.
To the 45, to the 50, to the 45.
Webb finished the afternoon with 30 carries and an astounding 294 yards.
Give him a big touchdown. Chuck Webb, Tennessee.
Check the stats. No player in Tennessee history has rushed for more yards in a single game than Chuck Webb that autumn afternoon.
Check the stats. Only from Dish do you get the Hopper Whole Home HD DVR. Learn more at dishballs.com. Catch the balls on Dish, official sponsor of The Big Artist.
It's time now for Ask the Coach, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Currently serving Vol fans with 7 Tennessee locations and online 24/7 at academy.com.
His first question comes from Derek Wilson. He wants to know, what did you learn about your team being able to play all those young players last night?
Well, that experience was invaluable. And we're still building our identity and our group reputation, but now we know exactly where everyone is and what we need to do to continue to work and get better each and every day, and what individuals need to improve. And some individuals played more than others, but we talk about pride and performance and that competitive greatness. And the big thing at the end of the game is I wanted to see how our players that were on the field, how they competed, that competitive greatness. And that's everything that we're striving for here at Tennessee.
But it's also a teaching tool because you see them in game action too now.
No question. Nothing beats game speed repetitions. And then also, though, obviously your blood pressure is a little bit different. And how do you respond in pressure situations?
Next question from Eric Taylor. And he said, how proud are you of the discipline of the team? No penalties in the game against Austin Peay.
Well, we spoke about that earlier in the show, and very proud of that because it follows the plan to win in disciplined football. And we talked about us not being the most talented team with collective individuals, but we can be the best team if we follow the plan to win. And we can't be a team that beats ourselves. And last night we didn't beat ourselves. We took care of the football. We generated turnovers, and we had 0 penalties, and that was great to see. And I think that is great moving forward because now we have evidence behind the plan to win.
Now the challenge, Western Kentucky, and they coming in off a win over an SEC team, Kentucky, last week.
Great challenge, and they have SEC talent. It all starts with their middle linebacker. He's going to be a first or second round draft pick. Every NFL scout that comes in here, they do the track from Knoxville to Western Kentucky, and they talk about this individual, how he can change the complexion of the game. Another first rounder at free safety, and then a great running back. And obviously Coach Petrino is a great coach as well. So we're going to have our hands full, and we need everyone to come out and really support this football team. We need to make Neyland again a home field advantage, and it's going to be a noon game.
Coach, congratulations on win number 1, and good luck this week against Western Kentucky getting ready.
Thank you.
Coach Butch Jones' comments on Tennessee's win against Austin Peay. We'll talk to Tennessee assistant coach Steve Strepping when we come back in just a moment.
Time now for the Tennessee Top 5, brought to you by Hyundai.
First out at the 14-yard line. Hand off, tailback up the middle lane to the 5, to the checkerboards. Touchdown, Tennessee. A 14-yard run up the middle by Marlon Lane.
The first touchdown run was great. Just getting Team 117 set off. And we just wanted to go out there and just set a statement.
Waiting for the snap. Back to throw. Intercepted. Malik Foreman jumped the route and intercepts the ball at the 10-yard line.
Malik works hard. They had hit a play on him earlier in the game. At Tennessee we have a snap and clear mentality. The next play doesn't affect the play before, and vice versa. So they hit a play on him, and he pretty much had the snap and clear and got an interception. I think I was gonna beat him to the end zone. If he would have kept running. But, I was proud to see him, keep playing and not get down on himself.
Neal in the backfield, Worley fakes to him, drops the throw, throws it right over the middle of the checkerboards. It's caught. Touchdown, Tennessee. Devrin Young on the catch.
It's just a play that we worked on over and over. It was perfect timing to call that play, and I just thank God I can finally get my first touchdown.
Snap to Spivey, throws an underneath pass that's batted up in the air and intercepted at the 25-yard line. Daniel Hood.
It's just a simple ET game with Corey Million. Did a great job coming underneath. My job was to read the screen. Read a quarterback threw a low ball, tipped it, and ended up catching it. Corey would have blocked the quarterback. I might have had a touchdown.
Off tailback. Rajon Neal breaks a tackle down the near sideline to the 25, to the 20, to the 10, and he's into the checkerboards. Touchdown, Tennessee. 48-yard run by Rajon Neal for Tennessee's first touchdown of the season.
Started with the O-line giving me something. My receivers helping me out on the perimeter, man. I got to thank my man Jason Kroon, man. He really sprung me on that run. And, the O-line just got me started, man, and that's where it starts.
This is the top 5 plays from Tennessee's win over Austin Peay. John Bryce from VolQuest.com joins us, and each week we'll have a member of the Tennessee coaching staff. And first up is Steve Strepping, associate head coach and defensive line coach. You were smiling big when Daniel Hood had that interception.
I was excited for that young man. You know, he's a senior. He's been through a lot, and just excited for him to have some success.
You know, he showed athletic ability, and Daniel's really worked hard, hadn't he, to be a starter?
He has. He's one of those 6 seniors in the defensive front that have really bought in. They're playing hard. They're working on their techniques, and I think they're having some success.
How valuable is that from a standpoint of Daniel's leadership and just what he's meant on the field as well as off the field?
Well, I think Dan and others have brought that to the table, and it's really helped the group. You know, obviously we have some young people on our team, and I think when you have those seniors out in front leading the way, it's really beneficial.
And then you talked going into the week about wanting to play 8, 10 guys up front on the defensive line. What did you see out of your rotation? What did you like that you got out of those guys?
Well, we did. We played a lot, and I think that's the advantage of a game like that, is that we were able to play a lot of people. I like the energy. I like their effort. They played hard, able to play some younger guys, which we know will be critical to our development later on. So it's great to be able to play a lot of people.
Coach, a lot of people have been talking about the switch back to the 4-3. Is that really that big of an adjustment for these players?
Well, I think it's an attitude. I think for us it's a philosophy that we're going to attack. We're going to be attacking, reacting defense. I think it buys into the fact that pass rush mentality. I know pass rush has been an issue around here, so it all builds in that 4-3. You're really a good defense when you can rush a quarterback with 4 guys.
You talk about the mentality built there. What did you see from the guys early on in terms of the way that they were able to force Western Kentucky off the field in a hurry and just set the tone very early on?
Well, you know, something we talked to our defense about is 3 and outs, and we were able to get off the field. We thought that's our job. Let's go out and get off the field, get the ball back to our offense. And I think that helps. It limits your reps, lets you play with a little bit more energy. And so, you know, we were just excited to get out there and play a game, to be honest with you.
I know that Coach Jones has been selling the history of Tennessee football. You sell it too with your defensive linemen when you look back at all the great players, Reggie White's and the John Henderson. That's a great selling tool for you.
Boy, it is. I actually had a chance to meet Reggie White's daughter last night. She was at the game. Yeah, that was exciting. I told her anytime she can come back, obviously we'd love to have her here. And but there are great traditions. There's pictures that we can look at and say, hey, that's what we're striving to be.
How much of what you guys do as a coaching staff trickles down to your players? Dan Hood told me recently about a day that you guys didn't have a good day on the practice field as a defensive line. He said you went in and apologized to Coach Jansen and some of the other coaches and said you weren't going to let your guys let them down. How much does that family camaraderie trickle down to your players?
Well, I think it does, and I think right now we're putting the responsibility on the defensive line. We're a veteran group. We know our back end's a little bit young. And I think we're shouldering that responsibility that for us to be an effective defense, it's going to start up front, especially with those 6 seniors. So I think they understand our responsibilities and the magnitude of that, and that's what we're striving to do.
Steve, talk a little bit about the changing aspects of college football. All offenses seem to be wanting to play faster and faster and faster. That means the defensive linemen have to play faster and faster. What kind of adjustment is that?
I think they're going to make that illegal. But no, no, you know, obviously our offense, the great thing is we train against our offense. So we see the up-tempo offense, and hopefully we're prepared for it. But it does. It puts a lot of stress on the D lineman. I think, again, it goes back to rotating, having the ability to play a number of men against it. But it's, you know, it's communications, high-stress situations. So it's all that training. So we're very fortunate. Our offense does that, so we're able to train against it all the time.
But you have to have 8 to 10 defensive linemen now to play this style.
You do. To be really effective against up-tempo offenses, you have to have at least 8 guys. Exactly
we'll continue with Tennessee coach Steve Strepping when we come back in just a moment here on the Butch Jones Show.
It's time to announce the AutoZone player of the game. Get in the zone, AutoZone. In the zone for Tennessee was Rajon Neal. The senior tailback from Fayetteville, Georgia, ran for 142 yards and a touchdown on 16 carries in the first half alone. Congratulations to Rajon Neal, our AutoZone player of the game. AutoZone, proud sponsor of the Vols. Parts are just part of what they do.
Boom! Get through there! That's it! Go, go, go! He's an amazing coach, man. He's the best I've had since I've been here, and we're enjoying him right now. That's way to set the point. That's a good job setting the point. I got a club, release my hips, and step behind the back. He's a very technical type of guy. He's very he's very anal about footwork and stuff like that. I want to see the fist come out the other side. Good. Better. Good job, Jock. So he's a great coach, man. We love him, man, and we're excited to get this season rolling with him. We've got to come off the ball. We've got to communicate. We've got to do all the little things right.
He's very intense.
Be ready! I don't care about the ball. Set your point. Run back, run back. Hut, hut, hut. Grunt, growl, do something. You're stronger when you grunt, when you make a noise. Thank you. Actually sound like a football player for once.
So he's very straightforward. If he thinks you're soft or you're not using your hands very good, he's going to tell you. He's going to tell you right to your face, and you always respect the coach like that.
Why are you underneath the chute? Come out with a flat back. We saw the film last night, right? Your feet are too wide. Your bases are too wide. This is where you get it done. Fist up! Fist up! Extreme speed. You got 15 minutes in you to lay it on the line, to be a better player, to be a better football team. Well, let's go.
We're really enjoying them right now, and can't wait to get this thing rolling again.
That's Coach Steve Stripling in action. He's with us here on the Butch Jones Show. You get after him pretty good, don't you?
Yeah, I didn't know you guys had all that footage, but you do. I think the young men want to be coached hard. They want to have discipline, and they want to be successful. That's what it all boils down to.
Steve, you referenced being coached hard and having discipline. We were just talking. No penalties in the game. You couldn't really remember it, but what does it say about the way that they've embraced your coaching style and the discipline that's instilled in the program?
Yeah, playing with discipline, that's one of the aspects of Coach Jones' plan to win, and we stress it all the time in practice. We actually have a penalty report after practice, so but it's great to see it executed and have a penalty-free game.
How many penalty-free practices have you guys even had?
None.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's good to see it come together, yeah.
Talk about your relationship with Coach Butch Jones and how long you've been with him, and what is it like coaching under Butch Jones?
Yeah, well, it's been a great run. I've been with him 4 years now. This is our 5th year together, and we became friends. And so it's been great, because he brings to the table everything that I was brought up under, which is playing hard, playing with discipline, being physical, all those type things, all the things I believe in, all the places I had been that we had stressed. So it's great to be with him.
Coach, it's good to have you here at Tennessee. Congratulations on a shutout in the first game at Tennessee for you and your defensive unit. Good luck this week against
we're
Western
excited about the shutout, but we know we have challenges and hard work ahead of us, but we want to be appreciative of all the support that everybody gets. This is a great place. The Vol Walk blew me away. Yeah. What a great place.
And it was a special night. Coach, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Associate Head Coach Steve Stripling with us here as Tennessee knocks off Austin Peay and now gets ready for Western Kentucky. We'll talk about that next here on the Butch Jones Show.
It's time for the First Tennessee First Look, a scouting report and look ahead at the Vols' upcoming opponent. Brought to you by First Tennessee Bank, the official bank of the Vols.
Well, the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers opened their season on Saturday night in Nashville against the Kentucky Wildcats. Bobby Petrino's first head coaching assignment with the Hilltoppers. They threw the ball all over the place, scored 35 points, and came up with a big win, John.
Yeah, a big win. Second year in a row that Western Kentucky has beaten Kentucky. Brandon Doughty threw more passes in that contest than he had in his career coming into the game. He had only thrown 27 passes coming into the season. He threw 35, I think, in that contest, a couple of touchdowns. And then they've got a guy, running back Simpson, who's on the Senior Bowl watch list. Their middle linebackers on the Senior Bowl watch list. So there's definitely some talented players on the Western Kentucky squad.
And they're going to throw it all over the place. So, again, now Tennessee will have to, this week, get ready to rush the passer and get after him and slow him down.
Yeah, they throw it around a lot. That's Bobby Petrino's MO. That's what he wants to do. That's why Brandon Doughty won the starting quarterback battle in the preseason camp. And then, again, as Steve Stripling just told us, they've got to generate the rush up front. That makes the job much easier on the entire back seven of Tennessee's defense.
But the win over Austin Peay has to help the confidence of this Tennessee team.
Yeah, it helps the confidence tremendously, and there was a ton of confidence, to be quite honest, going into the game. I talked to Dan Hood and a number of other defensive players who told me they were playing faster in Coach Jansen's defense before the season ever started than at any point last year under Sal Sinceri. Just felt a much greater confidence in this system, a much greater belief in this system.
You know, I think a key thing against Austin Peay, obviously Tennessee will play better teams than Austin Peay, but there were no major busts in the secondary, and Malik Foreman comes up with a big interception, so a lot of things to build on there.
Yeah, the coaches have talked about how much Malik Foreman and Cam Sutton also have the right mindset, that they don't play like freshmen on the practice field. I think that showed when Foreman got beaten earlier in the game, and then he was able to come back and make a key interception, help Tennessee preserve the shutout. So those guys are playing with the right mentality, And again, a penalty-free ball game is just phenomenal. Asked Justin Worley about it. He said he couldn't remember playing a penalty-free game since his backyard.
Yeah, and it was tremendous the way Tennessee, the execution, they weren't running guys in and out. They seemed to be very, very well coached and very well disciplined in terms of substitution patterns. And in the first game, sometimes that is a disaster.
That's remarkable. The first time the Tennessee program, I think, has had a penalty-free game since 2007. They averaged around 7.5 or 8 penalties a game last year. And this is a coach making his debut in a new system. Just tremendous credit to the preparation and all the scenarios that this coaching staff put those players through in the preseason camp.
But let's face it, they are going to play better teams than Austin Peay, and now it's going to step up this week, and then the gauntlet starts. So I think from a mental standpoint, this is a very important week on the practice field.
Huge week on the practice field, and coaches have to love the fact that they were able to beat Austin Peay effectively in that game early, and yet plenty of coaching points, plenty of teaching points come out of that contest. And this is a coaching staff that absolutely thrives on teaching. It's the most education-oriented coaching staff on the field that I've ever been around.
Justin Worley got the start, and I thought handled it pretty well. He was 11 of 13. And it seemed to get them in and out of the huddle and get them to the line of scrimmage, get the right plays called.
Really, really efficient execution from Justin Worley throughout the game.
So you look at what Tennessee has to do now this week against Western Kentucky. Bobby Petrino comes in. He knows all about playing SEC teams. He won't be intimidated. I'm sure his team won't be intimidated coming in here.
No intimidation factor whatsoever.
And so thanks for being with us. We'll see you next week here on The Butch Jones Show.
This has been a presentation of the Fall Network, produced by IMG, the world's premier sports, media, and entertainment company. For more coverage of this week's game, be sure to watch the Vol Network's 2-hour game replay. Check local listings. Produced at the Huster Broadcast Center.